From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White. Ontario's police watchdog has criminally charged 2 police officers in a wrong-way crash last year that killed 4 people east of Toronto. The April 2024 crash immediately raised questions about why the police allegedly pursued a robbery suspect into oncoming traffic on one of Canada's busiest highways. The officers have been charged with multiple counts of criminal negligence. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says Ottawa will be ready to retaliate if Donald Trump imposes 25% tariffs on Canadian goods when he returns to the White House on Monday.
We will not hesitate to act. We will respond, and I will say it again, everything is on the table.
Trudeau's remarks come as Canadian ministers meet with Republicans in Washington, hoping to pressure Donald Trump to back away from his plans to slap Canada with the devastating tariffs. Meanwhile, Freeland is proposing a dollar-for-dollar response to Trump's tariffs. This comes as the former finance minister announces she will run to replace Prime Minister Justin Trudeau as Liberal leader. The Supreme Court of Canada is set to announce next week whether it will hear a challenge to Quebec's secularism law. Groups looking to appeal Bill 21 say they have been told a decision will come Thursday. That law preemptively invokes the notwithstanding clause to shield the legislation from court challenges over fundamental rights violations. More than a year after St. John, New Brunswick's police chief announced a review of his officers' conduct in the 1983 case of 2 men wrongfully convicted of murder, there's still no sign of the promised report. Robert Mailman and Walter Gillespie served long prison sentences for a murder they did not commit. Mailman now has terminal liver cancer. Back in December, he said he thinks he'll die before he sees a review or gets an apology from the police.
If they're not held accountable and this don't come out the truth, then the next miscarriage of justice is just around the corner. It's going to happen again.
The police chief has said he commissioned a retired senior RCMP officer to carry out an independent review of the case. With TikTok facing an imminent ban in the United States, many Canadians are now moving over to a rival Chinese social media app.
While TikTok will remain available in Canada, Red Note is now at the top of download charts in the country, despite concerns about Chinese national security laws that compel organizations in the country to assist with intelligence gathering. Associate Professor of International Affairs at Carleton University, Stephanie Carvin, says TikTok at least had some theoretical safeguards, such as assurances that data would be kept in the U.S. and not shared with China. But Carvin says none of those rudimentary protections exist with Red Note. Brenda Molina Navidad, The Canadian Press.
This is The Canadian Press. In sports, it's ski cross gold for Canada. India Sherratt of Cranbrook, BC, won a World Cup event in Austria. Ottawa's Hannah Schmidt earned bronze despite crashing with teammate Brittany Phelan of Mont-Tremblant, Quebec, who finished 4th. Toronto's Kevin Drury won bronze in the men's race. Just 2 games on the schedule in the NHL tonight. None of them involve Canadian teams. Buffalo hosts Pittsburgh, Vegas visits Carolina. New Toronto FC coach Robin Fraser left for Spain today with a smile on his face as the Major League Soccer team shifts its training camp to Marbella. Fraser says he likes what he's seeing in his first week on the job.
It's a very young feeling group, and I think with the young groups, young enthusiastic groups, if you guide them the right way and they're willing to be guided, that they can move forward very quickly.
Fraser doesn't yet have a place to live in Toronto, and he's waiting on squad reinforcements with a striker the most pressing need. From the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.